this mind poison out in our community. If hip hop, rap, gangster rap music had been a consumable edible, we would have sued the manufacturers by now because of its toxic effect that it has had.
Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester magazine.
This mind poison out in our community. If hip hop, rap, gangster rap music had been a consumable edible, we would have sued the manufacturers by now because of its toxic effect that it has had. And so I'm studying that as a lawyer. Like, how can I connect the dots between what was known at the time when they put it out as to what effect resulted from it? Because we're suing gun manufacturers, and I don't even agree with some of those lawsuits, but these folks knew that this would have an effect. This past week, my Tuesday started off. I was at a sentencing for a 20-year-old who got 29 years for pleading guilty to attempted murder. And that was a plea because there was really 4 attempted murders on deck if we were to go to proceed to trial. Then the next day, I pled a gentleman to first-degree murder. And the deal that was worked was that if you plead guilty to this particular murder, the next murder that you're charged with will allow those charges to run concurrently. So there's 2 murders, 1 person, 21 years old. And this is not unique to the DC metro area. This is happening all over this country. Not one of these leaders, quote unquote, has said a word about this type of stuff. Jay-Z has not said a word about it because his music, along with many others, has propagated the mindset that our young people have.
Exactly.
When we came up, we were singing love ballads. We were singing Lionel Richie. We were singing all kinds of other stuff. But these people, for the price of some pennies, pretty much, and I know he's a billionaire now, but for the price of pennies, they did to our community far greater damage than the Klan ever did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to say one last thing. When people get twisted, and I'm old enough, I'm not from the beginning of hip hop, but I grew up on the beginning, and I guess I was the next level, between the new school and the old school. As Floyd Myers say, the middle school. He said that about Heavy D. Probably the middle school. In the early days, when these artists came from these these areas like the South Bronx when it was burning and all that stuff like that, they made party anthems to escape the reality of what they had to deal with day to day. Now you have a culture that encourages suburbanites to live out their gangster fantasies on record that don't know nothing about that life.
Nothing about it.
And much money gets pushed to promote it and to sell it, and we buy it because they get the best producer with the dopest beat. You know what I'm saying? And that's once we start nodding our head to it, the lyrics get into you. You know what I'm saying? Like I went back on the road last year for the first time since 1991, and I had to relearn all my lyrics. And I realized how easy that was because I could quote every Biggie lyric. Why? Because I listened to it over and over again. As I was walking, I just put my headphones on. It was just walking to my own song. And I really relearned my lyrics like that. These things that you listen to, we don't understand the power of them, the power of the tongue, the power of the words.
It programs your subconscious. They know that.
That's what I've always said, and I've gotten in trouble. There's a reason why the position at the station is called radio.
The Kaepernick.
And this happened for weeks.
The job he's called a radio programmer or a video programmer. That wording is not by accident. That's not just a cool title. They are programming the mind state of our young minds who are not developed yet. You know what I'm saying? And you know them ages. You're confused. You're trying to find yourself. You're trying to
exactly. You're very impressionable at that stage of life.
right.
Very
There's an artist that nobody heard of. His name is Sho Paraka, and he made a record, and he talks about that when he was coming up. You know, he was trying to find himself, and you know, he throw your guns in the air and all that stuff. And he was like, Then he got into college, and you know, he was reiterating some of the stuff he heard, and then then he got out of college, and became a father, and was working, and had a job and a career, and he's like, yo, those lyrics don't resonate with him no more. He was like, yo, hip hop. At that point, he wasn't 50 years old yet. He was like, hip hop, you're close to 50. When you gonna grow up? You know what I'm saying? Like, hip hop did not grow up with us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us have grown, but the music did not grow with us. And the artists who are the artists that have grown with us, those are not the artists that get promoted and pushed.
They're no longer, One of the commenters says that I don't agree with the fact that hip hop hurt us more than the Klan. Let me be more precise. The numbers of black killings that can be traced back to gangster music has hurt us more than the number of lynchings of black people between 1865 and all the way up through 1950. So that number is put somewhere around 7,500 throughout that entire scope of time. But in terms of the Klan transforming into the benches and the police officers and the beatings and sort of that sort of stuff, I'm not talking about the long-term effects. I'm really talking about the people that have been taken off of this planet and out of our community, you know, forever.
I want to add one more thing to what you were saying. You were like, the people who put this music out, and the record, they don't let their kids listen to it
at all.
Do you know how many of the rappers who make this music
will not let their kids listen to it?
That tell me they won't let their kids listen to it? And I said, wait, but you want my kid, but you play it.
You're okay with my kid. You with my kid listening to it.
Right. You make it.
Your whole lifestyle. Your whole lifestyle. How did you measure that? Google it, research it. Go back to 1865 because that was really the first years that it started getting tracked. The lynchings. Brian Stevenson does some good documentation about lynchings that happened in America all the way up and through to the modern time. The number is under 10,000 of the publicly known lynchings. That does not include what we don't know. So that's where I get that metric from.
I want to transition a little bit into this Jay-Z thing. First off, two things. One thing I want to you said when we talk about our leaders, and then you said Jay-Z never. The word leader, our leaders, and Jay-Z should not be in the same sentence. That's first off. I want to stop.
Notice I said leaders.
No, I know what I said. Because we're looking to, because our community traditionally we have lost like great leaders, and we have a lack of leaders. We look to popular entertainers and popular athletes, expecting them to be our leaders. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was like two things about Jay-Z. First off, it was a freestyle rhyme, and freestyle rhymes, you say whatever you're gonna say. You know, whatever rhymes. I don't know why anybody puts any stock into the lyrics of a lot of these rappers. I don't know why anybody thinks that these people should be leaders or look to them to be leaders. They are not. They are rappers. They are in this to make money. They're in this to make records, and they do what they do. You understand what I'm saying? Lyrically, he's good. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The show he put on at Yankee Stadium, artistically, that was a great show. Mm-hmm. Looking for him to be our leader, or looking for him to be, I know what he should be doing and what we want him to do, but that was never him.
Yeah.
If you look at his history.
We conflate money with leadership. So we just automatically assume if you have money, you are a leader. We got people listening to Bootsy, and saying he's a leader. Come and talk to us about how you make it. We got, and it's just like the ones who really have made it in this capitalist society, we don't really pay any attention to them. The ones who can give us some knowledge about how to really navigate this mind field, we don't listen to them because, number one, most of them are not very exposed about their level of wealth that they have. They're not running around with a gold chain, entourage, and this and that and the other. I've met some truly wealthy Black people, and when I say wealthy, I'm not talking about mega wealthy, but I've met some wealthy Black people, but they don't really flaunt it, because what they're trying to do with their money isn't to draw attention to themselves. They're trying to create generational wealth. They're trying to create systems that employ people. They're trying to create institutions that really do things, inside our community, largely. But the hip hop rapper, the gangster rapper, what they do is they literally walk around with, money and show it in their videos and gold chains, look at my car and this and that and the other. And we impute to them leadership when in fact they're not really leaders at all. They're just people who know how to entertain very well. And when you get down to the brass tacks and you start saying, well, what is your net worth? How much are you worth if you have to liquidate everything today? They ain't making the Forbes list because, they had to rent that car that was in the video.
Well, I would say most of the cars, and that's how we get us to most of the stuff and vehicles. Yeah. The jewelry was a jeweler lent them that for the video. Yeah. The vehicle, they paid some rich white person or whoever to lease their car for the video, to borrow the car, and a lot of the clothing companies give them clothes to wear in their videos.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of what you see is not what they have. They're selling us up. Somebody was talking about a lot of other things, like all of the things you named. I'm not going to call them all out. Those are all problems in our society. Those are all. We're not saying hip hop is hip. I'm not going to let nobody say hip hop is the root of all of this. That's wrong in our community. A lot of these things have been wrong before there was a hip hop. And if there wasn't hip hop, they would have found another way to continue selling us this stuff.
So I just want to play this video. Because
I know which one you're going to play.
I'm playing about my son because it's very disrespectful. It's disrespectful to Cap, disrespectful to the movement, and it just showed that this Negro is Johnny come lately. I always knew he was fake.
Did you? I mean, when he sat down at the table with the NFL, he should have said, "Listen, if you're going to have a conversation with me, Cap is going to be here."
No, listen, Jay. I'm talking about my son. I'm talking about a local New York so-called activist. Jay, we know that's Jay's MO.
Yeah,
we already know that he capitalized on the situation. He did it in the NFL, and he's doing it again with Target. And now he wants to deflect, and his little Negro minions, because that's what they are.
Yeah,
because they want to be accepted in those type of groups, so they're going to say whatever Jay is going to say. But I want to direct this to my son because I think it's very interesting. And AJ, you're going to catch it. You're going to catch what I'm saying.
I mean, he left the group chat. He's like, nah, he just went silent on us. And then next thing you know, we seen Kaepernick has a settlement. He got a settlement. They say he signed the NDA. And I'm like, he didn't tell us. He didn't. So you saying that we did all of this shit? That niggas sacrificed and beefing with other niggas and we doing all this shit. And a nigga we sacrificed for just disappeared from the movement and didn't even notify us to say, yo, look, and he should have took a settlement because they owed him his money.
That's right.
But he owed us, the people that sacrificed with him, the right and just the heads up to say, this is what we doing. I dare nigga to tell me I'm lying. And that shit hurt me because I'm a cat and I still love what he does to this day, bro. He got the I know your rights. And I'm not saying anything against what he sacrificed. Even he just paid for the young boys autopsy, all these things. I love what he does, but I just don't like this narrative that niggas did dirty by him when he literally left. And if that's what you wanted to do, I'm just saying I would have never did that.
That's right.
First of all,
so let me say something real quick. So two things. So what did Jay-Z said he signed? He said called it a what did he call it? A
non-disclosure agreement.
No. That's not the word that Jay-Z said. Jay-Z said he signed something else.
Non-discouragement mean that he couldn't.
Non-disparagement agreement.
Okay, so I want to address that first.
Which was a lot.
In any lawsuit, and you're the lawyer, in most lawsuits, when there is a payout like that, the bigger company doesn't admit guilt, of course, and they usually have all parties involved sign a non-disclosure agreement so they can't talk about the terms of the agreement. And that's what he can't talk. He can't talk about. I got this much money for this, this, that, whatever.
There is no non-disparagement agreement because
after
he wrote a I forgot what it was, but there was a video that he did and where he was likening the NFL to
slavery.
Yeah, so there has not been any. He has not done any of this non-disparagement. There's not inside that.
So I just want people to understand what the difference is, and maybe the non-disparagement rhyme better than non-disclosure agreement in Jay-Z's freestyle. You try to rhyme things, and maybe disparagement rhyme better. But the real thing is, so as far as this man, let's look at what happened. This man used his platform to speak up to protest against police brutality. His largest platform that he had at a time when everybody's paying attention, the national anthem, he would not stand for it. He kneeled. Because of that, he was punished and banned from the NFL. And why people say there was no official ban, that's bullshit, because you have a quarterback at the height of his career who led his team to the Super Bowl, didn't win, but right after that, no team's going to sign him. And I've seen a lot of crappier
absolute
crappier quarterbacks right now getting contracts, and they can't hold the candle to Cat. Cat probably now still can't hold the candle to him. So he was literally banned. So he sacrificed his career, his financial stability, his generational wealth for his family. He sacrificed everything that he was to bring attention to this. Now, all of us, we joined him in support, but we ain't lose nothing. Let's go right there. Damon, it didn't make you not get paid at your job. It didn't make none of us. We were supporting him. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, to criticize someone, you never been in that position, to do that, he should have gotten paid, and he probably should have gotten paid a whole lot more.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
But once he got the money, look what he's doing with the money.
He did more with his money. Cap did more with his money than Jay-Z did with his billions.
Yeah, and not only that, for my son to say that he disappeared, he's talking out of two sides of his mouth. Because he says he should have took the settlement, but then he said, well, he took the settlement and he didn't tell nobody. He didn't have to tell you that he took the settlement. Like, that was common sense.
He didn't tell you when he kneeled. He didn't run it by you when he kneeled. He didn't run that by you.
And the second part about it, for him to say he was one of the first organizations, absolutely not. He was a Johnny come lately on the movement with Kaepernick. He was a Johnny come lately. And it's sad that these Negroes right now, especially my song,
are these Johnny come latelys that when that movement was at its height and at its peak.
Y'all see that t-shirt?
Yeah.
That t-shirt was for black law enforcement when we stood up for Cap.
Yeah.
Black law enforcement. AJ, you was there, right?
I was there.
Exactly.
That's my picture. I'm the one on the other side of the camera. I'm the reason you got that picture.
Was my son there?
No, not only wasn't he there, you know who? The only person I know who was there was Sean King.
Exactly.
King and for all you black people talking junk, Serpico. Remember Serpico from back in the day?
Exactly.
Who still has a price on his head, came back to the 5 boroughs where there's a price on his head to stand in that press conference and stand with Cap.
So don't put up no video acting like you was really rocking with Cap. And I'm talking in my song. And Kaepernick ain't got to tell you shit. Who are you? What have you sacrificed for police families? Of your own time. And just like Jonathan said, he took his own money and was out there. And you talking about he disappeared. He never disappeared. You were just never on.
He was never there.
Now, let me finish. My son, you just wasn't on his level of activism. So you never saw him. You wasn't on his level. So you didn't see the things he was doing because he wasn't doing it for fame or to be noticed or for a check.
And let me also say, just for for those who are listening and may not know. So Damon, the brother who's talking, he's also one of those who met with Eric Garner's mom at the house with one of the people that went to the house. We covered the funeral. You understand what I'm saying? With the peacekeepers and all of those, and none of those people that I see was there. None of those people that are talking were there. And we covered a lot of other situations that he was not out, because what Cap was originally protesting was the police brutality, the police killing of Black people.
That's
and
really what it started.
And in those cases, I'm not trying to be funny, and I wasn't at every one of them. But when I was there with Eric Garner's family, I know Eric Garner's mother. When I was there with this one and this one, when we were there for everything that Kenneth Chamberlain has been through, none of these people were there. None of these people were at the rallies. None of these people were when we went down to Police Plaza and protested. None of these people were down when we went here and protested against Pat Lynch and the police union. None of these people were there. And I was there with the camera. Not only was I there, there's pictures of it, and I documented it. I was there documenting these movements. Like, I don't talk about a lot of that stuff, but just because you don't see somebody and they don't talk about it doesn't mean they was there. I didn't see you, and not just him, but a lot of people who talk right now, I did not see them there. I saw them at the bigger things when things got bigger and it was more press involved, and it was kind of like, the thing to do. Like remember back in the 90s when Public Enemy had the Malcolm X, the Africa medallions, and then that was the thing to do, so everybody was wearing them, and some people didn't know what that meant. Like, once things become the thing to do, everybody joins in. You know what I'm saying? But during the early days of doing the work, I can speak definitely. Damon was there, and I was there a lot of the times covering it as press, covering it with the camera, covering it, taking pictures and video. Well, you know what I'm saying? And Damon was there speaking. I just want people to know, for those who don't know, you know what I'm saying? Black West is celebrating 12 years, and Damon's been doing this a lot longer than 12 years. The brother speaking has put in work. So when he speaks, he's speaking from that lens. So there's people that don't know Damon and like, oh, who is he to be talking? I just want to fill those people in who he is while he's talking.
I really don't really care. But let me tell you straight music. How do you get on a radio show with the rapper? I don't even know the Negro's name, right? And
that's Jay-Z's next. That's Jay-Z's man, Memphis Bleak.
Well, how you get on with Memphis Week, and he disrespected you? He disrespected you and activists. Then you're gonna get on his show and you're gonna freaking tap dance about Cap. Cap is working at a higher level than you are right now, my son. That's why you can't see him, because he's not in your stratosphere.
Yo, Jonathan, I wrote an article recently, The Man in the Arena. The man in the arena who's actually doing the work, and everybody's criticizing, and everybody has an opinion and everything, but they are not doing the work. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And Cap was the man in the arena. Cap was the man with the national, and with everything to lose, and who lost everything.
Who lost everything. A lot of these guys, right? They criticized from the standpoint of looking back, and none of their criticism is actually legitimate at all, because as we talked, Cap was losing money from the moment he kneeled.
Exactly.
And Damon, I think I met you in 2014 when I started the National Association Against Police Brutality.
Mm-hmm.
It was so a lot of people across this country.
Your voice, reporting the stories others ignore, holding power accountable, and making sure the truth about our communities is told by us. But independent Black media only survives when the community supports it. If you believe in real journalism, community accountability, and keeping Black voices strong in local news, we need your help. Your donation helps us continue covering the stories that matter: politics, education, justice, and economic empowerment right here in Westchester. Support Black media, support Black truth, support Black Westchester Magazine. Donate today and help keep Black media alive. Because Black-owned independent media is Blacktastic. Black Westchester Magazine presents People Before Politics, the Sunday Rundown, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Join Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as they break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and community from a Black point of view. No spin, no party loyalty, just logic, accountability, and outcomes. If it impacts Black America, we're talking about it. Tap in, subscribe, set your reminder. This Sunday at 6 p.m. is going to be Black